Ohayou minasan, youzersseif here. A couple of days ago, I told you in a Facebook post to give me a character for me to put it in a tier list, classifying these anime characters with a mix of logic and personal preference. But since I'm gonna be going through all that trouble, I'm not gonna be able to review lots of characters, especially since some of you fuckers have mentioned a list of characters. But guess what? My channel is growing in size, and so is my authority. So, those who violated the rules, I will be deducting 5 points from your score. Anyhow, this is how we're gonna be doing things. We have 7 tiers. On the lowest low, we have the characters that I don't know. It's either I don't know them at all or just didn't watch their show. The tier after it is the actual lowest low. Characters that I truly fucking despise. Characters that I want to die in a fire. Oh, they're just terrible. Then above it is characters that are just bad. Above them is the average or neutral. After that, characters that are good. After that, you have characters that are great. They're amazing. And of course, at the topest top is characters that are truly iconic. And each one of these tiers are gonna be separated into 2 sections. Characters on the right are characters I rated based on personal preference. The left side is gonna be the characters that I rate based on logic, which has a little bit of personal preference sipping into it, but I can't help it, can I? So, let's begin. Starting off with a character that was viral in the last year from the recently ended season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen, Toji Fushiguro. Now, to me personally, I kind of like this character, but not too much. So, for me, I'm gonna be putting it in kinda light. As for the logic part, we're gonna be covering a couple of main aspects. Starting off from his design. Well, there is not something significantly special about his design, except that he dresses in a slutty way and that you can see his abs under his shirt. So he kind of loses a point. He has the same voice actor as Dio, so that's enough to give him 1+ point. And since he is a part of a shonen show where characters fight using unique abilities, I think it's fair to use his unique abilities to rate him. Now, Toji is special mainly because he does not have cursed energy. But that's not all. Because he has insane physical strength and an insane speed. The author was setting up continuously lots of expectations. First of all, he keeps on reminding us every 2 minutes that Gojo and Suguru are the strongest, they're unbeatable, and they are invincible. And then all of those expectations were shattered alongst Gojo's arrogance and confidence, as this seemingly nobody just out of nowhere was able to stab Gojo, who is supposed to be invincible and untouchable, which is something that we haven't seen beforehand. So Toji was introduced with lots of shock value, as he almost killed Gojo that we deemed to be so insanely strong. However, the author kind of rushed with his character and killed him way too soon. As we started to develop connections to this character, he was just killed off. Initially, we think that he's a character that cares about money and only money. He is someone who does not care, but he actually does care about his son. He is someone who works for money, but he actually also enjoys fighting. And I think that is a great character. Second on the list, we have Lulu v Britannia from Code Geass. Oh, to me, this is one of my most favorite characters of all time. And I don't just think that, I think the logic will back me up too. His design is alright, it's not that special, and that's due to the bad art style of Code Geass. I personally don't like it and many people don't, which is why it's not that widely popular. In the world of Code Geass, you have 2 career choices as a character. You either ride a robot or have some special eye ability. And Lulush will, which is the ability to order anyone as long as they look into your eye. With his iconic line, Lulush v Britannia orders you to. He can basically order you to kill yourself or follow his orders for life, which is a unique ability. Whenever he activates the power of his eye, it turns into this magnificent design. And while the design of his normal character is not that great, the design of Zero, which is his suit, is absolutely amazing. He wears a black helmet that covers the entirety of his head to cover his identity. And whenever he needs to use the power of his eyes, he uncovers covers his own eyes in order to make a command, which is my favorite part about the design of Zero. He is a genius coming from Britain that lives in Japan with his younger sister. He witnesses the injustice and the atrocities committed by the UK and decides to take matters into his own hand. And despite his wit, he fails multiple times and makes lots of mistakes, telling us, the audience, that despite him being a genius, he is still flawed. As Lulu made lots of progress, he realized a very terrible realization. The very same people that he hated and the very same thing that he hated them for turned out to be the best way for him to actually achieve his goal. He realized that the only way to achieve true peace is if the whole world has one common enemy. All of the hatred of the world is gonna be focused on me. But he had to do a lot of terrible things that he hates himself for doing. There is also a part of him that wanted him to be the one to offer the solution rather than being the actual problem, especially in the eyes of his little sister. This character has truly deserved his spot in the iconic / legendary characters. Next on our list is King from One Punch Man. His design is really good. It makes us think that if the author has went on all the trouble to create such a design, it's gonna be an insanely strong character, yeah? But no, when King is so fucking weak, he can't even defeat Moomin Rider. He does have one powerful ability though. King has such a ridiculous luck that whenever he's in danger, someone's right there to defeat whatever is challenging him or threatening his life. It's the really weak yet really lucky trope, but I think it's used to the best way. On top of being so ridiculously lucky, he's also so ridiculously strong in gaming. And he has been the only character on the verse to defeat Saitama at something. Personally, and writing-wise, I'm gonna put it in great or amazing. Next is Yagami Light from Death Note. Yeah, I know, another smart character. But Yagami not only was brilliant, but also was brilliantly written. He's starting off seeking true justice, similar to Lulu, only to be consumed by the power of the Death Note, and his ego has turned him from a hero to an anti-hero all the way down to a villain protagonist. At the beginning of the show, we were siding with him, but shortly after, L took the spotlight. We started seeing the evil side of Light. His character design, however, is not special at all, honestly. I bet if you put Light next to L, you would think that L is actually the main character, so he loses a point there. I'm gonna be personally putting him in the dislike. We're still putting him in the excellent or amazing. Next is the Whitebeard. The strongest pirate even at an old age. I don't think I've seen anyone really care about Whitebeard. His design is quite special, however. Although it contradicts his name, he should be called the fucking white mustache or something. You know, the design is good when you almost can't find any character that looks like him, not even in the same verse. His power is also unique. He could easily flip islands on their heads if he went all out. He has a deep desire for family, which is another contradiction since he lived his whole life remaining single. He calls everyone on the ship his son because he failed to make any other son. Probably because there aren't enough bitches on his size. I mean, look at this guy, he's fucking 3 meters or something. So yeah, the white version, another contradiction. I knew he was compensating for something. Imagine compensating for being big. Now that's ironic. In the introduction of the Whitebeard, we all knew that he was the strongest. So when he was going to the Marine Ford, the Whitebeard showcased his strength as he messed with the Marine Ford and the seas around it. But he did not quite live up to his name. Yep, I'm sorry to say that, but that's the case. Despite being the strongest, he kept on receiving multiple L's and was getting caught off guard multiple times. Not something suitable of the seemingly strongest. And even though Ace died in front of him, he did not punish the one who killed his son right away. For some reason, despite landing a direct punch to Akainu, just let him run away or something. I mean, it kind of feels like he could do more but didn't. But again, that could just be my speculation. I don't like him, but I don't dislike. So I'm gonna be putting that in the neutral side. I'm still gonna put him in good. Next and lastly on the list is Obito.
I hereby declare war on you all.
Now this one is a little bit tricky to rate because there is Obito and there is Toby. Toby was a great character in general. The mystery behind his ability, who he is, and the comedy behind him were all gold. So in respect for Toby, I'm just gonna be rating Obito. And I personally dislike Obito. Obito is one of the dumbest antagonists in Naruto. And I'm not even exaggerating. I mean, think of this. He's practically untouchable, right? And he can teleport through space-time, which means he can infiltrate villages like Konoha with ease. That means, if I am not wrong, he can just go ahead and collect all of the bijus so easily, especially the biju that he knows most information about, Naruto. And he had so many decent opportunities to do that. I mean, after Minato died, Naruto is just an infant, so after a period of time, let's say a week or a month, he can just come in, pick up Naruto, and that's it. The show is over. But now he has to do it the hard way. He has to announce the 4th Great Ninja War and some badass shit, creating way too many enemies for him to handle. And after suffering such a great loss, not only is he stupid, but his motivation for whatever the fuck he's doing is also incredibly dumb. After going through all of that trouble of manipulating Nagato and manipulating other characters and starting wars, he just succumbed to Naruto's talk no jutsu. Sorry, but he's rubbish in multiple ways, so I don't wish you to die in a fire, but you're bad, bro. Sorry. And that makes it for tonight's list, because I have talked for so much. I just can't shut up, can I? We're gonna be keeping this list as it is. So every single time you're gonna be adding multiple characters until the list is absolutely crammed. And till that time comes, subscribe so that you will stay noticed.